judgment, the ego will believe it's being responsible by pointing out others' flaws and telling them exactly what they must do according to my egocentric views. C, it's not your responsibility. It's never your responsibility to cast wisdom before the sleeping. Let's take a nice deep breath. Ever tried to get somebody to see that their drinking every night is hurting them, and they throw up a wall, head out the door and go back to the pub? They're asleep. Did they ask you for help? No. What habits have we learned where we attempt to be helpful, but don't even notice nobody's asked for it? It's a biggie, but underneath it is, I have a responsibility. I've got to save others while they're suffering. Here's a simple example. And we're really diving deep into this work of radical inquiry, love's breath, and learning how to be with it at the ashram years ago. I began to notice that we're talking about we need to allow each other's feelings. As we breathe, something comes up. Let's give spaciousness, allow others their full energy cycle. That's how they'll come to wholeness. Somebody would cry, and sure enough, always within any group, there'd be one person who would leap to find the box of tissues and take them to the person who's crying in order to be helpful. But what they're actually doing is interrupting another's journey according to their egoic perceptions. They've made a judgment that sadness and tears are a bummer. It's a good example. Where do I leap in to save another rather than to rest back into presence and allow? It's not my responsibility. Even if I can see that somebody's, I don't know, turning left, they're going to fall off the edge of the world if they keep doing that. Are they asking for help? No. Let them fall off the world. Why am I not trusting this being's journey? And for Joshua, there's this critical notion of ripeness. If there is no space to hear another perception, another possibility, even a wonder question, what's the point? It'll just bounce off. And what I've learned in my journey is that when there's not sufficient ripeness, what's offered or extended, even a simple wonder question, will not just bounce off. The ego will dig in its heels and push away, even to attack. Anything to get away from what is threatening their unripeness. They're totally locked in. They're being right. This is the experience they're electing to have. The attempt to change that, I used to call it kind of nudging. Sometimes it's the right time to nudge, sometimes it's not. And when it isn't, up will come defense. We all know what that feels like. So see, it's not your responsibility, even if you think you know better. Rest back into wholeness. But to follow the keys of verses 7 and 8, referring to the Bible, give when asked. Let's all take a nice deep breath.